up, film nerds? It's me, not a film nerd. The only films I watch are 88mm Vine compilations. I don't know if that's a thing. Please don't comment below saying that I'm wrong or I'm right, or you can actually get Vine compilations on your Game Boy. I don't know about technology, and frankly, I don't care. Please let me live in the woods where I belong. So, stairs. Look at those. They're very, rectilinear, I guess would be the word. You know what's rectilinear? A house. Today we'll be talking about Monster House, which is a movie that exists, that is not a fever dream that we've all had. I don't remember when I watched it. It was at either school or some kind of like public location where like I was sitting with a bunch of people. Like, I remember I didn't see this movie on my own. There were people around me when I watched it, but it wasn't in a movie theater. So I don't know where I was, but I watched it, probably not of my own accord. I wouldn't have chosen to watch that movie. And I don't think I've ever finished it, but I remember certain scenes very vividly, as in like, I can remember the shots. I can remember like the character design. I don't know if that's just my brain lying to me to continue that fever dream, or if it's like so memorable, but only occasionally. So if the movie starts off, I don't know how the movie starts off. The first memory I have of this movie is the piss scene. I really wish that wasn't a sentence I just said, but I said it and I'll stand by it. So there's two boys, I think they're friends, they might be neighbors, I'm not sure. One is like tall and gangly, has like blondish hair, I believe. One is like short, a little chubby, he might be a redhead, I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they have been pissing in jars. And they got a whole collection. It's just stacked along the wall. And there's a girl who might also be a neighbor or a friend or a crush. Not really sure, again. But she had pigtails? Or am I thinking of that girl from I almost said Little Nemo. The movie's Finding Nemo. See, this movie is just fucking me up so much. So the girl who might or might not have pigtails takes a look at the piss jars and she's just like, what the fuck? She didn't say what the fuck because this movie was probably not PG-13. Maybe it was. It was a horror movie. I don't think they make G-rated horror movies. Was Coraline G? No. Coraline was also PG something. Anyway, this pigtail girl walks in, sees the piss jars lined along the wall, and just like is disgusted, which I would also be. And she's just like, is that pee? And they're like trying to deny it, and he's just like, it's his, no, it's his. And it's like, okay, first of all, whose house is this? Like, you who are visiting, if you don't both live in the same house, you have possible deniability. Like, unless you keep your piss in the same house, which is, I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. If you keep your piss in your friend's house, I would like to ask you why, and also how. Like, how do you bring that into the house without parents or siblings questioning you? Like, oh, what's in that jar? Like, do you say apple juice? Because pee doesn't always look like apple juice. Let's be honest. It really depends on how much water you've been drinking. It affects the coloration of your pee. So if, let's say, the color of your pee was the same This video is gonna get flagged. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, she walks in to Piss Wall. And then they're like, no, it's not mine. You're so gross, whatever. And then we get like a scene where they go up to this mysterious haunted house and no one's seen anyone leave or come in. And it's like evil. And they like bike up to it or something because they're very into biking those days. And they like get eaten, or the house tries to drag them or eat them or something. It looks like a mouth. Like there's a very particular scene where the house morphs into like a facial, like a facial is not a word, Jenny. Facial formation, and it like has like a giant mouth, and it like tries to eat one of them. And we get the backstory that this house, it is built on top of the body of this dead circus performer who that's a fucking wild story. Like, who came up with this idea and who like allowed this to happen for kids? Anyway, so what? This is just me having a slow mental breakdown over this movie over the course of like 10-15 minutes. We'll see how long this video goes. But that's what happened. The house is built on top of this dead circus performer. I think her name is Bertha. I don't know for sure. She was like an opera singer or like some kind of singer. And she used to be really big and very good. Maybe she was actually an opera singer and not in the circus. Not sure how that works really. But she was really fat. And because of that, the audience threw tomatoes at her, which is one, fat phobic, and two, like, just mean. Like, why? But anyway, that's what happened. But the janitor man, yes, the janitorial guy, he fell in love with her while she was singing on stage. So they went off, they got married. Somehow, Bertha ended up in a cage. I don't know why they put her in a cage, but she was like shipped off. See, I can picture it so vividly in my mind, but I don't know the plot of this movie. So she's in the cage, and the husband, I don't know if they actually got married, but I'll call him the husband, is furious at oh, maybe it was children. You know what? That makes sense. It was probably children that threw tomatoes at her, because children are cruel, and also they just want to dunk on children. No, but that's probably like the ongoing theme of why the house tries to keep eating these children. So they see this man lurking about, and he's like, "Get out of my house!" And they run. And then they somehow figure out that she's buried underneath the house and therefore haunting it, maybe, which makes it really weird because he is living inside her. Ghost. Possessed house ghost. Something like that. It's weird. Don't want to kink shame, but like to be living inside your dead wife's, possessed building that is her vessel. That's kind of weird. That's not to kink shame, but that's kind of weird. Dude's been living there alone. I think he comes up to buy groceries sometimes. I don't know. And then the whole movie, they're just like fighting the house and trying to figure out the history behind that house. Yeah, it's fucked up movie. So that was Monster House. I don't know. It's just, they're like 3 things I remember so clearly, and everything else is just a blur. And maybe that's good because I don't think I want to know more. So please don't tell me about Monster House in the comments because I don't want to know. But 3 things I remember. I remember the piss because it's just like, come on, you're like 10. Pee is so funny to you, and also gross, but so funny. Like, why do we think it's funny? I don't know. It's just human to think toilet humor is like the peak of humor. But I remember the piss jars. I remember them going into, like, were they trying to save the girl? Really don't know what happened. But they went into the house. House tried to eat them. Old man comes and she's like, get out of my house. Except actually scary, not like just an old man with a cane shouting at clouds. But the third one is the one where you see the flashback of the singer, who I'm still calling Bertha because that's the only name I can think of. And she's singing, and then her career goes downhill, and then she joins the circus, or maybe not, I don't know. And then kids throw tomatoes at her, and then she gets locked up for being assaulted. See, that part never made sense to me. What did she do so that they had to put her in like a, I don't know how to explain this. It's like a big ass cage with wheels on it. It's like a cage wagon. I don't know why they did that. Frankly, it's very disturbing. Because she didn't do anything wrong, did she? I mean, she might have killed someone. Which is another detail that just popped into my mind. But then again, why would you put her in a cage? Shouldn't you take her to jail? I mean, there are bars in a jail cell, but it's not like an actual cage that's really dehumanizing and like, you know, maybe Bertha was right. Maybe she was right to haunt that house and try to eat those kids with her stairs teeth or whatever. But yeah, those are the very, I don't want to see the very beginnings of my morbid humor, but like that, Coraline, a lot of those like child horror movies, like horror movies designed for children to consume, I feel like they really shaped, I don't know, like how me as a child viewed humor and like dark humor. It wasn't funny. It was a horror movie, but it was like, damn, that's fucked up. But it's really fucking cool. So yeah, that is my review of Monster House. I've told you literally nothing about the movie. And I won't tell you anymore because I know nothing, and I will not learn because I don't want to. And also, Bertha might come possess my house and eat me. So, with that, I give Monster House a 3 out of 10, only because I can remember 3 scenes, or 3, arts, narratives, whatever. I'm not a film nerd, you guys. I started that film. My art is film, and my YouTube is my medium. That doesn't make sense. But my video started with me saying I'm not a film nerd. So, sorry if you expected anything more from me. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all from me. And I hope this doesn't encourage you to watch Monster House again. And I hope you all have a great day and no one throws tomatoes at you. And you don't accidentally, or maybe on purpose, murder a child and then get locked up, but like in a cage. And you get like trapped under a house or buried. I don't know this movie. Bye!